What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Chris here today. Welcome to vlog number 2. It's also take number 2. Didn't like how the vlog was kind of being put together when I was working on it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shoot it all over again and go from there. So hopefully this one makes production and it hits the stream. But been thinking a lot about what are things that I wanted to highlight, what are things that I wanted to do or show or talk about in this time. I'm really going to try to keep the vlogs to that 9 to 14 minutes, nothing too crazy long, something you can watch, enjoy, and move on with the rest of your day or evening or whenever you decide to watch these. But one thing that did dawn on me was that there might be some people that come across this on YouTube or on social media or somewhere on the World Wide Web that haven't met us before. And so I wanted to take a quick second and just kind of introduce myself, lay a little background real quick for you on that part of how we got started and what's coming up and stuff like that for us. So my name's Chris. My family, I have my wife Karen. I have our 2 kids, Desmond, who's 14, Zariah, who's 7. And we started this journey 10 years ago. We got a bearded dragon for our son as a pet. Lo and behold, we found our local reptile shows, started becoming regulars there. That relationship was built during that time that then I kind of got to work for the person that put on cold-blooded expos here in the Midwest and got to travel from Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Chicago, Des Moines, Nebraska, Colorado. It was a very fascinating and very interesting way of life that I was very new to on that part. It was fun interacting with different customers, getting to know different vendors and different people in those areas that you would see as regulars was exciting on that part. But then also just being able to dive in and give reptile information and facts for people that were picking up certain reptiles, because at the Go Lizards booth mainly, we had supplies and cages and tanks and stuff like that for people who were coming to the show to pick out animals and stuff like that, so we could be that one-stop shop after you got your reptile to come back, get all that stuff, go home, set it up in most cases. So from that reptile internship is what I'd like to call it, sparked this passion of me wanting to have a purpose and a drive to have my own table at a show one day. And lo and behold, you fast forward about 4 years later from that, and we are vending our first show. We're set up. It is absolutely amazing getting to that moment. And then you fast forward another 6 years to where we are now and how far our table, our booth, our reptiles have came in that time has been really exciting. And that's just one piece of what we do here at EpicStyle. The other piece that we have is locally here in the Kansas City area is we do educational programs and outreach where we're at libraries, we're at schools, we're at church events. We've been to trunk or treats. We've been to things local in our town, like our Main Street type things where you can set up and vend, and we just like to get out there and share our passion that we have for these animals. Because maybe in some cases, some people don't have reptiles in their house or don't know you can keep these type of reptiles, or just that whole scared of the unknown type thing. And being able to get into schools and summer camps and different things around the area has been such like a breathtaking moment for us, and really something that I enjoy and it just comes so naturally, being able to get kids hands-on with reptiles and share that information and kind of help break down and show that there's no need to fear, that with knowledge of these animals, just a little bit can help you and it can go a long ways. And so being able to do those educational things is something I really enjoy and fully see me doing that my entire life, as long as my mobility and health and all that stuff allow. Because just the reactions from kids, adults, teachers, participants, stuff like that is just something that lights my fire, and I enjoy seeing that they're having a great time learning about these animals, interacting with them. It's just it's a gift like none other. So I really enjoy that piece of it. And so that's something that we do outside of just raising and breeding our animals that we work with. And so I guess to further ado, we are down here in the gecko room this evening. I have a couple different options behind me, as you can see, where we have some cages over here that have some pairs in it. This one's empty. It had a pair, but I moved them elsewhere. There's some underneath that you can't see also that have some individuals and some pairs in it. Up top here, we have some grow outs. On the side over here, there's some subadults that we're growing out. And then over to this side here are all of our babies and hatchlings and young geckos that we are watching, working with. And so this is kind of the layout of our room. Our gecko room is slowly getting too small for us. So making plans and preparing to kind of change it up and have more space and the ability to house more geckos. Just because it's something that we really enjoy working with. We have holdbacks that are getting of 2 size, and so eventually those are going to become future breeders for us. And so figuring out and navigating and mapping the layout of how we want this room to look in the future is really important for us. But you can see these colored Post-it notes behind us. On them you'll find like this one here. This one here says GK08. So for us, for our labeling, G is for the dad. That's Gonzo, his name. K is for Kiwi. And then 08 means that this is the 8th baby we've had from them. Total, not for the year. Since they've been together, this is the 8th baby we've had. LD is lay date. Lay date was November 2nd. Hatch date was January 28th of 25. And so this is one way we keep track of our records just in the room. But we also have our spreadsheet that we use and update with arrivals, hatch dates, sell date, where we sold it at, stuff like that, so that when you guys reach back out to us with this specific call sign, we can give you the proper information if you happen to misplace it or something and you're needing that information on your gecko. That's one thing that I really want to strive towards, is making sure that we keep good records and good accounts of what we have, because they are leachianus geckos. And with leachianus geckos, it's not like your ball python where you can shed test it and you can figure out what kind of genetics are taking place. Leachianus geckos are a locality-based type animal, and looking at one from another, you can't tell if it's a Moro or a Nuana or a you could say GT, but you can tell GT stuff just because it gets bigger. But what type of GT, it means it, without lineage, without information, it makes your gecko just a little, makes it more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a leachianus gecko. So I try to instill pride and integrity and just people that have stopped by our table, whether you're buying from me or buying from someone else, just ask those questions, know what you're looking for, know what you're looking at on that end. From there. But I got to spray some geckos in here today. I'm also going to get out a couple different pairs so we can, pairs or subadults, juveniles, things that I like and enjoy that you guys can also kind of take a look and see. This first one I'm going to grab out over here real quick. All right. Our first 2 geckos that we have out here. This is Gigi. Gigi is a Nuana to a Nuana Nuami. Her dad are Gloria and Gambit. You can kind of see that's why she got her name in, Gigi. She is the 3rd gecko that they produced. And here in a second, I'll show you kind of how I made the decision that I would like to keep her as a holdback and grow her up. Her mate that she's with, this is OC. OC is a Bros. I've had him since he was a baby. He was roughly like 2-3 months old when I got him. We picked him up from Reptizilla. Good friend Connor, who we actually picked up our very first leachianus gecko from. And so seeing this guy full size, ready to, and as a breeder this year, is something very exciting and very rewarding. And then this one here was produced in-house. So I saw it. I saw the egg laid. I saw it hatched. I've watched it every step of its life, and so that just makes this pair super special to me, and something I really am excited about to see what their offspring are gonna look like, because they are two spectacular looking animals here. Let me grab one of their babies for you real quick. I still have Gigi out. I put OC up just because I only have two hands and sometimes they're a pain in the butt to keep track of. But we did catch this baby at the perfect time. It's nice, fired up, really good looking color. Let me see if I can get it to focus on the animal and not my face. But this here is a baby from Gigi and OC. Has a nice looking, like, brownish burnt orange color to it right now. Like I said, this is the first. So definitely going to hold this back, watch it grow, kind of see what characteristics it kind of takes on. Oh, and he's off to the races. And we're on the floor. Here we go. There we go. And we're back. Oh, gecko on the loose. But yeah, no, mom, meet kid, meet mom. So we'll put that one back in there real quick. Then let me show you two younger siblings to Gigi. So we have this one and we have this one here. I will pull out the one that looks like Gigi. So we've had about 20 of these babies from Gloria and Gambit. And I've only seen one that looks very similar to this 3 times. This one here was the 3rd one. This one here was the 14th baby. And I believe it was GG09 or GG10. We sold it last fall at Tinley. And it also had this same characteristics, things that I noticed that was different from the first couple babies that we had. Now, I kind of see on the camera here, the oranges are showing up a little bit more on the younger one here, whereas not so much here on this one. She has some great patterning in the neck area, which looks really cool. I think she has a little bit of a swirl look to her also, which makes it kind of neat on that part. So I'm going to put Gloria down for just a second, or Gigi down here for a second, and I am going to grab the clutch mate of this one so you can see a visual difference here between these two on that part. So I'll bring them a little bit closer. Oh, that's perfect. You can see the orange bars on this one, and you can see the white bars here. Same exact mom and dad. I could tell from when they both hatched out that this one here is good chance keeper, or at least has a little more going on for it. Nothing against this one. I like this look. I like the frosting that's kind of going on the neck there, the little white area, kind of right above its arms and stuff. But just something I noticed and kind of saw before with 2 previous geckos looking like that. And I've been asked before, how do you determine holdbacks and how do you figure that part out? And it's just simply being able to watch our geckos and see them hatch out and see what characteristics they're displaying as they grow. And that's been the biggest thing for me so far in this early stage of us breeding these geckos. And I've really enjoyed watching babies go from being that 5 to 8 grams to 25 grams to 40 grams, because they do change as they grow a bit. Some colors stick around and some color doesn't stick around and it goes away. And so it's always a new adventure, but it's very exciting, whether it's a pair that you've had babies from before or it's a new pair that you're getting eggs from when they hatch out, and you get to kind of take all that in there. Let me grab another gecko and we'll go on to the next. All right, have our next 2 friends out. We have Fog right here, Fog with a PH, and we have Morton Brother of Bowser. Controversial name. Wife picked the name for this one. His older brother is actually named Bowser, and she thought it'd be funny. It's cute. I like it. But he's a bad-looking gecko, and his name's Morton. Like, whatever. It's cool. Morton it is. But Morton and Fog here. Fog we picked up at Tinley in, let me see, let me flip on the front of her tag. That would be 22. And this is a newer pair here. But she had a lot of orangish, peachish color to her around her bars. Kept and held that really well. She was produced by my friend Bob at JBI Reptiles. And then this one we picked up from my friend Scott at Texas Lizard Connection. But you can see as I get closer here, just the saturation of like the bubblegum cotton candy look that he has going on here. I've had some duds from these guys. Haven't had a viable egg yet, but definitely excited for the possibilities and the looks that these two could probably throw. Just based off their colors and their patternings and stuff like that, is something very exciting there. Let me grab another gecko for you guys. All right, back with another pair of geckos here. We have Jaren and Izzy. They are a Moro locality. I have two different Moro localities here. Different in the fact that I have two different pairs of them. My original pair, Butters and Jelly, they make more of the classic looking gecko where it's going to have that mossy green look with the white bars. These guys here, this is their first year together. They were paired up with two different pairs last season. But this is Jaren here, and this is Izzy. Izzy, when she fires up, she has a little bit of purplish around her bars, which is really cool, really neat. Jaren has more of a reddish, pinkish color. So very excited for babies. We have two on the ground from them. They look real peachish color at the moment. They're still pretty young in that aspect. So hopefully within the next couple months over the summer, they get some color to them, and I can kind of have an idea of what these guys can possibly do and turn out, as far as like what their offspring are going to be when people are asking about moros and colors and stuff like that as well. But definitely, this is one of my favorite animals that I picked up, also grabbed as a baby. This animal here, we've had it since it was an adult. We picked it up from some good friends when we first got into our leachianus saga, if you want to call it that. So yeah, we have Izzy and we have Jaren here. Two Moro leachianus. Your Moro is a secular, so it's an island gecko. But of your locality species, your Pine Island and your Moros are considered the larger of the island species that they have going on. So kind of neat in that aspect there if you're looking for a small but big gecko. I really like the Moros. They have some pretty colors to them, and very docile on that point too. So yeah, let me put these guys away and I'll grab a couple more out. All right, our next gecko here, this is SL01. This is the first production from Shy Guy and Leost. Shy Guy is a Yate to a GTA GTC, and then Leost is a Pine Island Nuana Moro. Her mom, Leost's mom, was actually Izzy, who we just had out earlier. So another gecko that was born here in house, producing for us, which is really cool in that aspect of it. Just trying to make some big animals that have some nice color in them. Was super surprised and shocked with the growth and color on this one here. So just want to pull that one out and kind of share with you. Let's see, looking over here, what's something else I can pull out that's kind of exciting on that part? Let's go. We'll go here. This is just a GT animal, so it's going to get big in size. I have a couple older ones I can pull out and show you as well. This is FD10. Franklin and Daisy's 10th offspring. Franklin is our biggest breeding gecko in-house. He is a GTA GTC. He's about 415 grams full grown. The female he's with, she's a GT. She's about 320 grams. But you can definitely see the difference in size in those two. But definitely excited that these geckos bless us with some babies each year. And we've sold a few of them, and yeah, always fun. People, when they come to the table, you know, maybe they haven't heard of a leachianus gecko, maybe they've heard of a leachianus gecko, but I think when they get ready for a leachianus gecko, my question is like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for size? Are you looking for color? Are you looking for something smaller? You tell me, because I feel at our table that we have a wide selection, a wide variety of geckos that could possibly fit your need. So I love getting a second to show a customer or just somebody stopping by the table different things and different looks, and how this might turn up with photos that I can show of older geckos, or like being completely honest, like, hey, this is the third or fourth gecko I had from this. This is the oldest gecko currently. This is what it looks like right now, but I can't guarantee it's going to get to the 15, 16 or that 11, 12 size, just because I haven't ran the race with it. And so just being transparent and honest is one of the biggest things that I believe in when I'm at the shows, talking to people about our geckos and our animals on our table. Let's see what else I can dig up real quick, and then we'll try to put a bow on this thing and finish her all up. All right, we got a little guy here. This little pure Nuana is one of one also. Not one of one. It is number one of three, I believe, I think. This is from Halo and Espen, our Nuana leachianus geckos. This one, real light, real pastel. I can see its bars have some color kind of going through it. But if I go over here and I grab its clutch mate, I'll show you a side-by-side difference here. If they kind of hang out and stay still for a second. Let me find this. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So let me find that gecko and find this one. Yeah. So there are two clutch mates. You can see the difference in the hues kind of taking place. This one is a more greenier look. This is more of a nice looking pastel color. I'm going to keep them both for a while and just kind of see what turns up, as this is a newer pair. So want to be able to make sure that I like the pairing we have together, and they're producing some quality stuff on that end, and then that way I'm able to relay to customers kind of what I'm seeing and what's going on and stuff on that piece of it. For us here, for our Leachies, because we also have gargoyles and cresteds in this room, but primarily the population of this room is ran by Leachies. We also have Chewies too. But for me, we feed our Leachies just Pangea. I tried bugs when I first got into it. Just didn't ever hit as well as I thought it was going to. And so, whereas the cresteds and the Chewies, they go after bugs and they do really well in that aspect. I just seemed like I was playing with the bug more than the gecko was. And so talked to a few different breeders and stuff like that. And the biggest feedback I had received was just as long as I'm feeding those complete diets. And I feel our collection of animals, from breeders all the way down to babies, we have healthy, good-looking animals that we care for, take with us to shows and stuff like that. And so don't be hesitant if your gecko is just eating that gecko diet, whether it's Rapashi, Pangea, Leap and Leachie. As long as it's a complete diet, and they're getting all their nutritional value, you have nothing to worry about, I feel, on that end. Right, I have two more Leachies here. I have a GT Bayonnaise Lieberman Pinky here. Really like what this pair did. Unfortunately, they're no longer together, just for the simple fact that they couldn't get along. So I decided it was time to separate them last year, and they are now off on a new adventure. And so I have three of these left. I'm undecided exactly if I want to keep them, if I want to grow them up and kind of see what they look like, because this is the oldest one I have left, and I have two younger ones that are about 7-8 months old. And we have a jumper. There we go. I'm going to grab this one real quick. Let's see. But this one here, this is probably the best gecko I've produced. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but it is fantastic. The coverage, the darkness of the green when fired up, but then the darkness of that red taking place as well. This is Uni. Uni is a super high color crossed with a Carl Vargas Sakura animal. So, pretty neat, pretty cool. Never a dull moment opening up its tub and getting a chance to check it out. So very excited for this one to get of size, as I have a few different options of where I would like to try and get some more color added into it. So here's these two. I'm going to spray some geckos here now, get that part of the chore list out of the way. And then I'll finish up. I'll probably take a couple more pictures or videos of some other geckos that we have here, so you have a chance to see them as well. But then wrap this sucker up so you guys aren't sitting here looking at this like, dude, come on, clock play. Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of checking out some of our leachianus geckos. This season for us is pretty exciting, as we went from about 10 pairs last year to this year we have about 20 pairs going. A lot of those things are things that we invested on early on, or things that have hatched out and we have raised up here in-house, which makes it exciting on both parts of that playing for us. And so there's several things I'm looking forward to. Like, we have a pair of yates growing up. Those still have probably a year or two out before they're ready to start pairing up. Some different holdbacks and stuff like that in the room that I could just be here all evening sharing it with you and stuff like that. But I want to say thanks for watching the video. Like everybody else says, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. I don't know where those functions are at the moment. I'll get better at that. But just enjoy, comment. I love interacting. Make sure you follow us on social media, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, to keep up with our adventures and where we're going. But thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.